Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Clangin and Bangin with Mikey, episode 182, and we are literally a week and a half away from the USA's bodybuilding championships. I just weighed myself this morning like at fucking 5:30. Still the same weight, I'm 155, so I'm not shocked about that because this prep's been a little different. I've been having high carb days, and to me, a high carb day is anything above 200. I'm at the point where I don't really do keto anymore because it's like, not that I don't need to, it's that my body stays so lean that I don't need to put it in a carb deficit to get the results. And like I'm not one of them dudes, who operate well off, literally zero carbs. I've done that my first prep, and I fucking hated it because your body because you have no energy. I have photos where I look like skeletons, and what's crazy is that my first show, going into my last show, I'll be probably roughly 20-25 pounds heavier this show. And mind you, that's, what I've been training since I was 17. I'll be 36 this year, so almost 20 years. And my heaviest weight, I was about 198, 200. I just say 200 because it's easier, right? And mind you, I'm not that big. I'm 5'4". You know what I mean? 5'5" in a good day. So just imagine me being 200 pounds, and I'm not talking of lean, mean muscle. I'm talking just body fat. I was a guy who thought he looked good, but when I took off my shirt, my boy, yeah, we had some work to do. But yeah, man, this prep, my last show, ironically, and it's one of the bigger shows for nationals. I'm not really freaking out about it because I know I'm bringing in the best package possible. This whole year so far has been full of surprises. As you guys know, back in February, I lost my twin brother unexpectedly. That shit rocked me. It still does, I lost him in February, ending of February, and the whole month of March we had to plan for his funeral, so we did all that. I was still training, still dieting, still doing cardio, but it was more like I was just doing shit just to help me get through the day. I wasn't sleeping well, I just started going back on a regular sleep schedule. The gym was literally the only thing that helped save my life. It wasn't no fucking bullshit bodybuilding show. It wasn't no fucking prep. It was literally for 2 hours a day, 5 days a week. I could go put my fucking headphones on and the whole world would turn off. The whole world would just, all the noise and all the fucking chaos that we all go through would just fucking disappear. And in that time frame, I met somebody, man. And in that time frame, it's like she's taught me so much. Always, context. Let me give context to the situation. I actually met her pre-COVID, so I knew who she was. and I knew, I would see her in the gym, and but the funny thing is, man, during that time frame, was I was competing, um, for my first show, and so I would just literally go into the gym and I would train, and I would leave. I still do that, Very rarely do I sit around and I talk to people. I mean, I'm more comfortable in the booth and behind a camera screen than I am with somebody face to face, man. Probably because I know I can control the situation. But yeah, I actually met her 2018, 2019, and the funny thing is, several years later, um, I get nationally qualified, you know, and so I'm posting my pictures on social media, and everybody on my page was like, "Oh, congratulations, Mike! This and that, yada yada yada." And then she comments on it, and mind you, I don't remember who she was or who she is, right? And then she says something simple as, "Hey, hey Frank, congratulations. Hopefully I catch you in the gym sometime." I'm like, "Gym? Like who is this girl, right?" And unbeknownst to me, because I don't remember talking to her. Um, she remembered me from all them years ago, and one thing led to another, and we just ended up striking up a conversation. And funny thing is, man, when she first started talking to me again, she thought I was number one, she thought I was some asshole who was just trying to smash every girl in the gym. I'm like, no, I'm not that. I can be that, but I'm not that. It all depends on how the other individual, presents herself. If she presents herself that she's down with that energy, whatever it is. But if she doesn't present herself excuse me, if she doesn't present herself that way, I don't treat her that way, because first impressions are important, and if you just come out the box saying all kinds of freaky shit or just being overly sexual, because I've dealt with girls who just like, they come out the box and they be saying some wild shit, and I'm like, okay, cool, just like, this is the energy you want. And like, when they get it back tenfold, and towards the end they want to say, well, they want to say all this disparaging shit about men. I'm like, nah, it's like, you can't blame us for that, shorty, because it's like, if you came correct, if you came with actual intentions of trying to be a nigga's friend or trying to get to know a motherfucker, you know what I mean, or trying to get to know bruh as a human being, chances are we gonna treat you the same, bro. But if you come out the blocks, off some horny shit, or just want to get your box beaten, then what's a brother supposed to do, right? It's like, so you really can't complain with how you're being treated because you know exactly what you're doing. Anyway, back to the story with her. One night, so me and her were texting, and so she wanted to pop by. I was like, okay, cool, whatever. And she pops by, and but before she pops by, she says, "Hey, I don't want to come empty-handed. Like, what you want me to bring?" Thinking, Ma, it's like 10 o'clock at night. What are you talking about, right? She's like, "Yeah, I don't want to come empty-handed to your house. What type of pastries does your family like?" Meaning my mom and my brother. And I was like, oh, okay, just give me some apple and apples for mom and give me some donuts for my brother and we cool. And she's like, "Oh, what about you?" And I'm like, "No, I'm cool." She's like, "You sure?" He's like, "Yeah, bet." And so she rose up, and so we just sitting there talking, and my mama come through the front door like an hour later. And mind you, we didn't do nothing. We just sat there, we talked, And my mama talked. She come through the front door, and she starts talking about the baseball game, right? Because her and my brother went to the baseball game, and so my mom starts talking about the game. I was like, "Hey, Mom, hold up, I want you to meet somebody." So I was like, yo, mom, this is so-and-so, so-and-so, this is mom's. And, you know, local girls. And so she gets up, she hugs him and everything, too. And my brother come to the door after that. And then, he looking over to the girl. Like, what the fuck is this girl? Why she here, right? You know, and so I was like, hey, bro, I was like, hey, man, you remember that one time that girl brought over the donuts, and, you know, and the Patriots and whatnot? He's like, yeah, bro. He's like, well, this is her. And the first thing my man he goes, well, did you bring donuts this time? And she looked at me. She was like, babe, is he playing with me right now? I was like, yeah, he's fucking with you. And then she goes, hey, you know, I didn't bring donuts this time, but next time I will. And he was like, damn, I was really hoping for you to be 2 for 2. Now you 1 for 2. Anybody who knew my brother know that he was a big stats dude, right? And that's how I knew that this shit was serious. The fact is that she met at that particular time, the most two important people in my life. And she wanted to be there. You know, she wanted to be a part of that. And so 3-4 days later, my brother dies unexpectedly. A first phone call that I made was to her. I didn't know what to do, you know. I didn't know how to handle these emotions running through my head. I still don't know what to do most days, you know. But I'm equipped, you know, with my training and with my academic background and my experiences. Like, okay, like, I know we're not feeling well right now. One day we will be, but today's not that day. But you know, we still got shit to do. We still got X, Y, and Z to get done. And we have to go get it done. So let's go get it done. And I think with her being there, she made it okay for me to not be okay. She made it okay for me to understand my emotions and like learn how to deal with it. Because I'm the dude that everybody comes to to have their problems fixed. I'm the nigga that's always got solutions for all your problems. But when it came to me, and the really weird thing about the whole situation with my brother dying is that I didn't really tell anybody. You know, I told some of his friends and whatnot, you know what I mean? And they made their Instagram posts and Facebook posts and whatnot and all that shit. They did all that. And me, myself, I was like, okay, what am I supposed to do now? You know what I mean? It's like, I've never been the one to look for sympathy or look for fucking, well, woe is me type of shit. Because you know what? People go through shit like this every fucking day. There's somebody across this world taking their last breath, and there's a baby coming in this world taking their first breath. You know? And that's how I categorize things. That's how I deal with them, because it's like, it's the truth. You know? Very rarely do you have, you know, does somebody have an impact on you like my brother had an impact on me. As much as we didn't get along, man, as much as my man busted my balls every day, you know, there's a part of me that's still, you know, that's always going missing. A part of me died that day, man, but I also got sent somebody who wants to help me through that, you know, who wants to help me, you know, get better, you know. And I still got a lot to learn. My listening skills aren't where they need to be. I have a tendency to hear things but not listen to people sometimes, man. So I gotta work on that. And I think a part of that is basically I recognize a problem and I'm taking the appropriate steps to fix that. And I think that's important, because it's like, if you don't take the opportunity to fix yourself and your shortcomings, you're gonna have the same issues that pop up every single time, no matter what it is, you know, no matter what type of situation it is. It's like, because a lot of people, they'll stay quiet to respond. They don't stay quiet to search for understanding and clarity. What I started doing, this is a couple years back, I started saying like, yo, whenever people come to me with the issues, like, okay, yo, bet, I understand that, but do you want to vent? Do you want to vent, or do you want my opinion? Because if you want to vent, we'll sit here all day until you run through the whole goddamn story, whether that's 20 minutes or 3 hours, you know. Or if you want my opinion, we can sit here and I'll listen to the entire story, and then I'll give you my synopsis on it. And that helps with a lot of people, because I think a lot of people just want to be heard. It's like, I remember once one of my good friends, we was on the phone one day for 6 hours, just talking through our shit, talking through what's going on with us, talking through, you know, our issues, not as men, but as black men. The shit that we face every day in our relationships, you know, the shit that we have going on, you know. And it's like, it's important to have that safe space, not just for your girl, your boyfriend, whatever, but for your homies too. You know what I mean? It's like, you don't want to be that dude who doesn't know how to be a safe space for other people in his or her life, right? Now, I'm not saying that you got to take everything on that motherfuckers come at you, because there are some people like, nah, dog, I can't fuck with this today. Not with you, you know? And they're not bad people. It is, I think, a lot of people will take advantage of kind-hearted people and not realize that they're giving them way too much for them to comprehend and understand and manage, you know? Because if you're constantly dumping on somebody and you're not letting them do this, they don't have the same ability to do that same exercise with you, then that's not a friendship. That's an over-benefited, you know, situation. It's like when somebody comes to you with all these issues, all these problems, right? And it's constant. It's constant, you know? After a while, you get tired of dealing with it. After a while, you're like, yo, the only time you talk to me is like when you need something, right? It's like everybody had that friend in high school, you know, where he or she would only hit you up when they needed something, right? It's the same concept. There's a different arena. There's a different age gap. There's a different, you know, mentality. When you're dealing with somebody who doesn't value you, who just looks at you, okay, like, you're a dump site, I can just dump whatever the fuck I got going on you, and I'll be cool. But as soon as you try to do the same with them, they don't pick up the phone. They don't return the text messages promptly. No, I'm not saying that you gotta be fucking like, oh, so-and-so texting me, I gotta text him back right away. Nah, you know, like just say like, hey, I saw your text message, let me get back to you when I can, you know. Or it's like, and if people can't respect that, they don't respect you. Because I think a lot of times people will sit there and get used to being mistreated, get used to being lied to, get used to being told that they're not good enough until they believe it. And you know what? That's not right. You know, if somebody believes that you're not good enough, baby, that's, you know, son. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, baby girl, son, whatever noun you want to use, bruh, that's what they think of you. And their opinion of you does not mean shit. Last time I checked, none of these niggas pay your bills. Make it make sense. Why put stock into somebody who doesn't even help you out financially? Why put stock in somebody who you can't come to and talk to about what you got going on? Make it make sense. because you deserve better than what you're getting. A lot of people will sit there and over benefit themselves in a relationship and not know how to move on, when to move on, or they get comfortable in it. And it's like, and I've seen it, you know. I recently just had a girl that I know. She finally filed for a divorce after 2 decades of being with the same dude, and all this nigga does is cheat on her. And she's extremely attractive. And so what's that tell you, bro? It's like, if my nigga, if looks could keep him, man, it's like that motherfucker would not be out here cheating. You know, and it's like, okay, that's understandable. But at the same time, you're gonna get tired of being mistreated. You're gonna get tired of being lied to. You're gonna get tired of people laughing behind your back. You know, and you're gonna get tired of people talking about you because they see the mistake that you're making, but you don't see it. And you know how disheartening that is to make the same mistake over and over and over. And then you want to sit there and be like, well, how come they don't see my worth? No, it's not just them. It's you too. You have to realize that you deserve better than what you've been getting. You know, you deserve better than what you've been experiencing. You deserve better than all the bullshit that you've been through. And sometimes, man, this is gonna be corny. What I'm about to say, is that sometimes, man, the Amazon package, it takes a minute. You know, the Amazon package that you think you don't need, you know, it's gonna take a minute, and you're gonna meet somebody who's wants to do everything you do, who wants to see you crush your goals, who wants to see you become the best version of yourself, who pushes you to become better. Not whether it's academically, whether it's starting your own business, or whether it's getting that promotion at work, or just become an overall better person, improving your mental, improving your personality, improving you overall. A lot of people will say they want to do that for you, but they don't, man. It's like a lot of people will use you, and then like they'll get mad, like, oh, well, how come you get mad about this, mad about that, boom, 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 and I'm like, bruh, it's not that. It's the fact that you don't realize that this individual has changed. He or she has changed. You know. I recently ran into somebody, you know, who I've known since middle school, and they thought it was sweet, and I'm like, nah. It's like, you know, the 12 to 17-year-old version of me. You don't know the 35-year-old version of me. Watch how you talk to me. You know, and it's true. You know, like, you don't get to sit there and would be like, oh, well, I've known Mikey for fucking 20 years. All right, cool. Yeah, you may have known me back in high school, but my boy, you don't know me now. You know, you got to re-meet me. And I think that's where a lot of people falter at. They think, oh, it's because I grew up with a motherfucker means I know him. No. That's because I grew up with you just means one thing. We just grew up together. Physically. You know. Some of us never grew up mentally, you know. But yeah, man, to getting back to my main point at the top of this podcast, man, it's important to find people who value you, to find people who want to help you get better, who want you to win in every aspect of your life. And once you find that individual, it's gonna be difficult. It's gonna be, you know, trials and tribulations, because you gotta know each other. You know, like you're learning each other. You know, nobody's gonna get shit right the first time. People gonna fuck up. You know, but what people gotta realize is that you gotta give people grace, man. And you have to give people the ability or the chance to physically make those changes. Because anybody can say, oh, well, like, I'm going to change, yada, yada. Like, nigga, no, you're not. Because if you was going to change, you would have done that through your actions. You would have been more self-aware. You would have been more conscious of what you're doing. A lot of people will say shit just to say shit. And then they want to be like, well, how come you leaving me? Because you ain't changing, my boy. You know? You're not doing it, sis. You know what I mean? It's like, and after a while, it's like I said, people get tired. They get tired of waiting. They get tired of being lied to. They get tired of just being tired. And once people figure that out, and once people figure out, okay, like this individual is not for me, how do I move on from the situation? And it's difficult, you know, because when you're in a situation, no matter how long it is, it's difficult to break that, you know, to break that pattern, you know, because for a lot of times that's all people know, and when it's all that they know, it's bad, because you end up in a situation where, okay, there's this individual here, whatever it is, and he or she claims that they're gonna do X, Y, and Z. My boy, it's been 5 years and they haven't done anything. Chances are they're not gonna do anything. You know. To wrap it up, I always think about this one story, right? It's me and a couple of my partners who I grew up with. Middle school, high school, you know. I went out to college, they didn't go. And so quick synopsis of the story. There was 4 of us, right? And so we must have been in the early 20s. Or maybe mid-20s, I forget. Yeah, probably mid-20s. Anyway, he was with this girl for 4 or 5 years, whatever it is. They were living together. And she wanted to get married. And mind you, this is after 5 years of being together. I'm like, yeah, man, I'm like, that's about right, my boy. It's like, you know, it's about time you had that conversation. Because, like I said, we was like probably 26, 27. You know? I was like, yeah, that's about right, dog. It's like, yeah, you know, and she had moved back to the mainland to take care of her dad, the whole nine, right? And so she's talking about him moving to Texas and everything too. And I'm like, bro, it's like, hey man, you might, why not? It's like, there's a lot more opportunity out there in Texas, and it's cheap. Well, at that time, it was still cheaper to live there compared to Hawaii. I said, but at that time, it's like, bro, you have nothing here. You can start fresh over. You know what he told me? He told me, I don't want her to control the situation. I said, well, if you don't want to do that, then why are you with her? And he was like, what? He said, yeah. He's like, if you don't want to do that, then why are you with her? It doesn't make any sense for you to be doing that. You know, here you are wasting this girl's time because you obviously don't want to get married. You don't want to move, but you keep telling this girl that you love her, fucking with her head, doing all kinds of stupid shit, right? And so we sitting there eating dinner at this college spot, you know, this hole in the wall restaurant that served really good food. Anyway, so we sitting there chilling, and he telling me the story. I'm like, yeah, dog, she wrong. And so I explained what he told me verbatim, and he's like, man, that's exactly what I was trying to tell people. I was like, wait. I was like, hold up, I ain't finished. This is where you fucked up too. And I said, bro, you never wanted to talk about marriage with her. You never wanted to change for her. All you wanted was to have access to her. You loved the fact that you had a girlfriend. You didn't want a wife. Because if you wanted one, my nigga, it would have been her. And he sat there with this fucking flabbergasted look in his face. Because and mind you, I was not even close to being finished. And I said, if I was her, and if I was dealing with somebody like you who did not want to have that conversation, I would have blocked you too. I would have changed my phone number too. I would have blocked you and everything. I would have changed my number. I would have kept it moving. Because you're showing me that you don't value me. Even after I gave you ample opportunities to fix your shit, you still didn't do that. So the only course of action is to remove myself. Let me go remove myself. Let me go wash my hands of this shit, right? And like I said, he sat there flabbergasted because he never thought about that from her point of view. I was like, yeah, dog. It's like, I may not have liked her. That's a whole different topic, But she's not wrong for doing what she did. Anybody would have had the same reaction she did. Because you're sitting there and you're hearing all this shit. I'm like, oh yeah, babe, I love you, yada, 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 yada. But my nigga, you know you meant nothing of it. So why you gonna sit there and lie to this girl, bro? Like, why do that? Why fuck with her head? Why fuck with her psyche? Just leave her alone. Like, just stop. And what's sad is that out of the four of us, he was probably one of the most smartest guys ever. He just didn't want to try at anything. And then years later, everybody that we went to high school with, most of us have college degrees. Most of us work professional jobs, making decent money. Some making more money than others, but whatever. He's sitting there like, damn, man, that could have been me. Yeah, my nigga, that could have been you. But you know what? You didn't want it. And that's the sad part. You didn't want it, and now you're complaining about what you don't have when you had a chance to go get it. Make it make sense, y'all. Anyway, hope y'all keeping the 4 Ps, private player, positive pushing. This is 32 minutes of your life that y'all won't get back. I wasn't expecting it to go on for this long, but your boy got a little long-winded today. But yeah, I see y'all next week Sunday. Love y'all, ghosts. And like I always say, know your worth because you're better than what you are. Peace.